welcome back. My name is Dr. Kira Yazid, and today I want to talk to you guys about the whole 9 to 5 rat race and actually how it is in 2017, how it is actually easier to start a business than it is to find a job. Yes, you heard me correctly. In 2017 and going into 2018, it is actually going to be easier for you to start a business than it will be for you to find a job. The reason for that is not as complicated as you might think that it is. I've heard people say like, oh, filling out these applications and, I'm not using the keywords in the online applications and I'm getting these rejection letters and blah, 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 blah. The bigger problem of what's going on is that you have baby boomers who have not left the workforce. Baby boomers are still holding on to management positions. They are still in those upper positions that they've had for ages. Many of them will die in those positions. They are not retiring like the system was set up for them to do. What has happened is that baby boomers are not retiring. So our parents are working past retirement. They're not leaving their positions. Hell, as a college professor, as an assistant professor going in, I had coworkers that had great grandkids and that were like in their 80s. And I was just sitting there like, what are you still doing working? Why are you still on a college campus? And then the information that they were bringing to the table was not relevant, but because they were in management positions, you couldn't tell them that the information that they were bringing to the table was no longer relevant for the generations that we were trying to teach, who were millennials and Generation Z. And so what we are seeing is that with the millennials who are Generation Y, and we see Generation Z, is that when they're trying to enter the workforce, there are no jobs for them anymore. There are no jobs because Generation X is still at the bottom of the totem pole in entry-level positions, waiting for your baby boomers to die off or to retire. They're not retiring, so we're waiting for them to die in their offices so we can move up and make room for millennials and Generation Z. That is not happening at the rate it is supposed to happen. And so what we see millennials and Generation Z starting to do is, instead of them sitting at home and whining about it and feeding into this American dream that ain't happening, is that they started going out and creating their own dream job. They started to create their own companies, their own businesses. And they have taken entrepreneurship to a new level. Yes, we are also in a technology age, and that has actually hindered some of the workforce as well, because in the technology age, you just need one good computer programmer to go in, program everything, and the computers take care of everything. You don't need all this manpower. Well, millennials and Generation Z have actually taken that into consideration. And so they are using the internet and social media and taking it to new heights as far as like entrepreneurship. So we're talking about people that are in their 20s and mid 30s that are out there making 6 figures a year, working from home, operating businesses from their computers and from their smartphones. And, they're utilizing platforms like YouTube and Instagram. And a lot of people say, oh, that's fake. And, oh, they're just successful because of their looks, because I've heard that BS too. And no, it's not that. They have college degrees. They are taking their education, and instead of them applying for these jobs that nobody's going to hire them for, it's not because they're not qualified, it's not because they're not educated, it is because there are no damn jobs out there. There are no jobs. Nobody's leaving jobs anymore because, like I said, baby boomers and Generation X are still there. So they are creating their own jobs, their own opportunities. And guess what? They are surpassing baby boomers. They are surpassing Generation X. I've mentioned this before. I was only making $48,000 a year as a college professor with a PhD. Actually, I made more money I'm not going to say more because it wasn't a whole lot more. As a clinical social worker, the most I ever made with a master's degree was $56,000 a year. So still not a whole lot of money to say you got college degrees, master's degree, PhD, student loans out the ass, and you ain't making enough money to barely cover your bills. And so I started looking at like millennials and Generation X and what it was that they were doing. I mean, Generation Z, and looking at what they were doing. And I said, wait a minute, like these kids are killing the game. And I was like, and they making six figures. Hold up. I'm not doing something right. Let me back up for a second and let me regroup and look at this from a different lens. And being an entrepreneur, having side hustles, because I had never really had a full-time, been an entrepreneur full-time on my own. And so when I started to really take a look at their numbers and the systems and what they were doing, they weren't creating anything new, but they were taking what they had and utilizing the resources that they had, and they were dominating, because now when you really think about it, because we are in a technology age, everything is being done online. Business is being done online. Courses are being offered online. You know, universities are just starting to catch up and offer like online degrees, but they behind times as well. But you have everything that's available to you at your fingertips. And so you have millennials and Generation Z coming in and taking advantage of this, and they were blowing everybody out the water. And so I was like, forget 48,000 a year. I'm going to do what they're doing, and I'm trying to make the money that they're making, or I'm going to try and make more. And so taking the resources that I had and taking the tools that I had and beginning to put that all together and take my expertise and my experience and say, let me create courses. Let me build a business off of what I know. I know how to market. I know how to brand. I know how to build systems. I know how to build programs. I know how to make successful programs. I made other people a whole lot of money. It's time I start making myself some money. And so with that, I had to change my mindset. I had to get out of the 9-to-5 mindset that I'm waiting for somebody to give me a job. I'm waiting for somebody to give me a paycheck. And I had to say, I'm going to go out here and create all of this myself. So when you are deciding to make that shift from your 9-to-5 to entrepreneurship, one of the things that you have to do is you got to change your mindset. You got to change the way that you think. And it becomes, survival of the fittest, that you got to get out there every day. You got to grind hard, you got to hustle hard, but you would do it for a 9-to-5. You would do it for an employer where you're only getting paid to work 40 hours a week, but you still get out there and give them your all. You work overtime and not get paid. You work overtime and just get like comp leave to make somebody else successful, to make another company millions, and all you getting is a fraction. You're not even getting 25% off of probably what you are making for them. And so when you start to change your mindset and look at things and look at business in that perspective and look at finances in that perspective, the world starts to shift and you start to see things differently. You start to see numbers differently. You start to see systems differently. And one thing I would give millennials and Generation Z is that they have some damn good systems in place, that they understand technology. They have done the research when it comes to their ideal clients. They have done their research when it comes to the age of technology and understanding the buying patterns of people, and capitalizing on that. And so, one of the things that I want you to take into consideration, if you are thinking about starting a business in 2018, first of all, do you have the mindset? If you still have that 9-to-5 mindset, that is something that you are going to have to change. You cannot have the same mindset going into entrepreneurship that you have going to a 9-to-5 job. No one is going to tell you what to do. You have to develop your own job description, or I like to call it an action plan. You have to know who your ideal client is. You have to know what your niche is. You have to know what problem you're out there solving. You have to be consistent in your branding and your marketing, and you gotta grind like you never grinded before. You gotta figure out how to stand out from the crowd. You can't focus on what everybody else is doing. There is no room for copycats because everybody's in their own lane. And so with the 9 to 5, it's like a cookie cutter. You just come in, here's your desk, here's your office, here's your computer, and make it happen. 9 to 5, entrepreneurship doesn't work like that. And so you have to change your mindset. You have to go in with a different mindset. You have to go in having a plan. You just can't fly by the seat of your damn pants thinking you're going to be successful and be making 6 figures. That doesn't work as well. You've got to have a plan and you have got to implement that plan. So you can have all of this in your head, but you got to be able to take it from your head and put it into action. You got to know who your ideal client is. You got to know what your niche is. You got to know what their problem is and how you're going to bring a solution to their problem. You got to understand so many things. And when you work a 9 to 5, there are people in place at your organization who takes care of all of that. When you're an entrepreneur, it's you, baby. You're the only person who's got to figure all of that out. Now, you could bring a team of people on, but realistically, in the beginning, you normally don't have the resources to bring people on to help you. You are doing everything yourself. And so, yes, you work long hours. Yes, there's going to be some inconsistencies in the pay that you receive. You're not going to receive a steady paycheck. That's gone. But if you want to live a certain quality of life, then you start to figure out a system that works for your business, and you figure out how many clients you need to see, how many products you need to sell, how many upsells you need to do, how many ROIs do I need? Like, what do I need to make my quota for this month? Because these are the bills that I have to pay. You figure out a system that works for you. Everybody's system is not going to work for you. You have to figure out a system that works for you. You have got to surround yourself with like-minded people. Again, that becomes a shift in the mindset. Those people that you used to hang with, they don't understand what in the hell you doing. They don't understand what in the hell you talking about. And they don't want to, because 9 times out of 10, they are not entrepreneurs. So they think you are crazy. They think you are nuts. So that means that you might have to find some new friends to hang around. That means that you might have to put yourself in some master classes where you are surrounded by like-minded people, people who get you, people who get entrepreneurship, people who are going to be supportive, people who are going to feed into, like, they're going to nurture you and help you to grow and to become the entrepreneur that you desire to be. But again, it becomes a shift in the way that you think when you first get started. So one of the things that I want to tell you guys about is that I am starting a new entrepreneur masterclass for 2018. I'm only accepting 20 ladies. You either have to not have a business but have a great idea, or you have been in business for 1 year and your business has not done squat. You have not made a profit. It's just kind of been there and you need some help. You need some motivation. You need to be held accountable. You got some stuff going on. Then this masterclass is for you. This masterclass will last for 6 months. And so during that 6 months time, you will have individual coaching sessions with me. You will also participate in group coaching sessions. You have homework that you have to complete. We meet virtually, so we get to see each other face to face. We also will have a retreat, a weekend retreat where everybody comes together and we just like knock it out the ballpark. We sit down, look at everybody's ideas, where people are lagging, and we're going to help them to get it together as we finish out the leg of the program. So if you know that you need some accountability as you start your new business or as you try to grow your business in 2018, I want you to consider the new Entrepreneur Masterclass that I am offering.